The last part of Chapter 8, and kind of the whole goal of putting all of this stuff together, is being able to determine where price and quantity are set in the markets. So we've looked at, how to create a demand curve and how to create a supply curve. Now what we're going to do is put them on the same graph. So we have ourselves a demand curve. And we have ourselves a supply curve. We're going to determine price where supply equals demand, or where they intersect. We would put a dot. When you draw the line over to the left, that is where price is set at what we call equilibrium. And when you draw your line down to your quantity axis, that's where quantity is set at equilibrium. And if we look at the next slide for a second, equilibrium is basically saying there are no shortages or surpluses. So everything that we are supplying, people are demanding. So people are buying up all of the products that are supplied. And that's what we call equilibrium. I might want to say that word out loud because it's a little goofy to say. Equilibrium. The exercises that you're going to do are going to ask you to shift supply and demand around. So we had some supply curves and we looked at moving those, and we had some demand curves and we looked at moving those. Now we're going to put them on the same graph, and we're going to start and we're going to move one or the other, just one, and then we're going to shift both and see what happens. So if we had an increase in the number of suppliers, we would see an increase in supply. And what this is doing is now this makes us have a new equilibrium point. So we would look at where our new supply curve crosses the demand curve, draw ourselves a new price line, and you could have your equilibrium price and quantity be Q0 or Q1 and P1 and P2 or whatnot. That's totally acceptable. I was just making a point with the E's, but they can be zeros or ones, however you like to do it. And then we're drawing arrows to see where we started and where we ended up. So in conclusion, we would say because of the supply increase, price decreased and quantity increased. So the goal of the next couple of worksheets are going to be to shift supply or demand and tell me if price increased or decreased, and quantity increased or decreased.